Hello everyone. Let's understand how the consensus works and how the conflicts are being resolved in the blockchain, and also understand what is the longest chain rule. So let's take an example of a conflict. So let's say that all the nodes have synchronized the blockchain and are at block number 100. So three miners have mined the new block which is 101, and this new block that they have mined is actually nearly at the same time. So all of their block has a different signature, hence are not exactly the same because it the timestamp on which the block has been mined may also differ. So since that timestamp is involved and embedded inside the block, or the signature of the miner is also embedded inside the block, this can be called the different block. So let's say that that new block is called 101A, 101B, and 101C. So now the question is, which one must be the final new block, and how will you resolve the conflict since there is a reward associate involved. So in Bitcoin it is now actually 12.5 BTC, but it was earlier 25. So as of this is actually a very expensive problem to solve because 12.5 BTC or whatever the BTC cost is involved is actually a huge cost. So how will the network together resolve the issue, because there is no arbitrator, there is no mediator, or there is no central authority who will take the decision. So this becomes a very big question, that how this conflict can be resolved. So the conflicts is generally being resolved by called something called a longest chain rule, right? So in public blockchain like Bitcoins, the conflicts are easily handled through this tool. So let's say the miner received the first block, 101A, then he will start building the next block on top of that 101A, right? So here, as you can see, that 101A, B, and C, three have been mined at the same time, but one miner who has received 101A first has started building on top of it. Right now, in a few seconds, that miner sees the another block 101B, so that miner will keep an eye on that new block as well and consider it as a branched. So it will become two branches: branch 1A, 101A, 101B, and then it will see another block 101C, right? So since if the new blocks actually since if the next block 102B is being detected, because someone was also trying to build on top of this 101B and he successfully built 102B on top of it, then and that 102B block has been announced by the someone in the network, it means that miner who is actually building on top of 101A will see that somebody has built 102B, he will switch to 101B and will continue building on top of this block. So this means that that particular miner who received 101A since the beginning in the beginning will now switch to this branch and will discard this particular block. So this is called the longest chain rule, because now the blocks are interested in focusing on the whoever is having the longest chain and will be considered as a trustworthy and safe. So that's called the longest chain rule. So the question is how this is being handled in the private blockchain. So first and the easiest answer is make a miner as a arbitrator or trusted. So whenever that arbitrator receives the first block, he will consider that particular block as a final block, and that's it. No other further negotiation. So private blockchain have a much easier way to do it, because they can actually appoint an arbitrator, or they can make someone responsible for taking the decisions. Okay, so that's about the conflicts, how the conflict being resolved, and what is the longest chain rule. Thank you.